the next 30 minutes, we are here at NewsX and like to bring to your focus the efforts and hours of prime-time telecasts that we have been devoting to promote Tamil pride. First up, we would like to show you this telecast that we did in 2021, a small snippet of it. The first ever prime-time telecast in Tamil. We had 6 young minds from the state discussing their biggest issues for the Tamil Nadu elections. Take a look.
Like for me வந்து எனக்கு எப்போ ஸ்டார்ட் ஆச்சுனா நான் வந்து 8th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல இருக்கும்போது வந்து எனக்கு வந்து
அப்புறமா நான் பண்ண ரிசர்ச்ல தான் எனக்கே தெரிய வந்தது. ஆனா இது வந்து காமன் பப்ளிக்கு தெரியுமான்ற ஒரு क्वेश्चन
இருக்கவே இல்லை. நம்ம வந்து நம்மளுடைய அவுட்புட்ஸை வச்சுட்டு அல்லது நம்மளுடைய பேக்வர்ட் தியரிஸையும் இன்னும் கேரி ஓவர் பண்றதுனால தான் ஒரு கிரைம் அக்கர் ஆகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடியே விக்டிமைஸ் பண்றோம். நீங்க ஏன் இதை பண்ணுனீங்க அப்படிங்கிறதுல இருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுது. that we call as.
Then in the first ever Kilari national TV report that was filed from the excavation site to show you the treasures of the Sangam civilization.
Town of Kilari, a town in Tamil Nadu which has now provided the crucial evidence of Indians. While some pits are small, others are spread across many meters and have stone walls surrounding the paving.
Fifth phase of excavation works that has been carried out here in Kilari has thrown new light into the civilization debate.
Now, over the past 4 years, we have dedicated over 100 hours of programming to Kilari excavations alone, right from the artifacts to the inscriptions and the civilization that is ancient.
To our trajectory of Indian civilization, acquiring knowledge of the past, and knowledge is not a neutral thing. Every knowledge has some narrative.
Today, a report was released on an orange carnelian stone that was found at this site engraved with the image of a wild boar. Now, this stone, which could be possibly about 2,000 years old, isn't even found in Tamil Nadu but in northwestern India.
People on the other side of the Vindhyas are all Aryans, and even the Brahmins in Tamil Nadu are Aryans, and they always find a sore spot on this, and their entire propaganda is on this.
Then came the NewsX's report, which is the first ever TV report that was filed from Porunai excavations.
Along with it, I'll also show you the pictures of the monuments which has also been taken from the excavation, so you can see the pots and the potteries of the which was brought from here, and you can see the pictures where all the excavation parts which has been taking place here have been sent softly to.
And here's a look at a a real-time maritime action plan that NewsX prepared for Tamil Nadu during the elections.
Integrating the Colombo to Dhaka, that is Bangladesh to Sri Lanka.
Okay, hopefully the construction itself will generate something, but several people, everybody wants to come in. Let me go to Dr. Shastri.
So here it has been the NewsX initiative, the campaign to educate people, create awareness about the Tamil pride that the entire nation has when it comes to the heritage, when it comes to language, religion, temples, Kilari excavations, ancient civilizations, and so much more. Again, starting off my telecast with Rahul. Rahul, you have been a regular fixture on NewsX, and particularly these special telecasts that we have done. I remember we started off, as I showcased on our television screen right now, you know, snippets of, at the time we had done that entire 1 month telecast of Save Hindu temples, and most of those temples were in the southern hemisphere of the country, whether it was Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh. Then there were also these Kilari excavations, and you've always been part of it, telling us about how the ancient civilization has to be given the place in history in our textbooks. We've known about the Indus Valley civilization, but the time has now come. It is high time that the Kilari civilization, the Kilari excavations that point to the oldest civilization that emanates out of Tamil Nadu should also be inculcated, told the world about this story. So how does it feel now that over the course, the similar parallel movement, initiative, effort is being made by the current government and the Prime Minister himself?
I would like to thank NewsX, your entire team, as a proud Hindu and a prouder Indian, because such things are not usually showcased in our mainstream channels. With due respect to all the channels, I had the privilege to participate. Sometimes academic historic debate is not given the due prominence as it deserves regarding our political or cultural or other social debates. So something regarding our history, something regarding our archaeology was given so much of airtime in your channel that it caught the attention of the people, and it's the right way to go, because many times there are no topics to debate. It is more of a discussion. There is less energy and more light or more clarity on these things, and I would like to it was my privilege to participate in this, and I'm thankful for the channel for highlighting such things, because what we saw in Kilari was history rediscovered. Our children and our grandchildren are going to learn about this in their textbooks in the schools, and we can with great pride tell them that we were part of that entire era which saw the discovery of these things, these beautiful things, these glorious things of our history, and we were part of a live discovery of our ancient history. See, India is a nation which has a living history of thousands of years, unlike our Egyptian brothers or unlike our people from the ancient Middle East brothers. We are a living civilization that is thriving for the past many centuries altogether, and we have the privilege and blessings of the Almighty to discover these ancient civilization and aspects of it, and Kilari is one such wonderful ancient space of our civilization that should be celebrated. It is as important a discovery as the discovery of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, and it is high time all the media should also highlight on such finer aspects of where we come from, who we are, and what we are basically made of.
Absolutely. In fact, NewsX also held a very special telecast on building the second ISRO spaceport in Tamil Nadu.
To ISRO officials to build a new spaceport in Tamil Nadu in the upcoming year. So now some of the main land acquisitions have also been going on, in which the marked helped by the ISRO officials and the state government for building up a new ISRO spaceport in the Kulasekarapatinam. So now what we are getting to know is that the first...
Can you explain to us why? Because why do we need to get close to the equator? Why Tamil Nadu makes sense?
First of all, you need to actually looking at the east coast, right? Yeah. So you need to have an eastern coast because the Earth rotates from west to east. So the rocket actually has a inherent velocity that is going eastward. So if there is any...
And here's a look at the NewsX campaign, Save the South Temples. It was the temples from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, and our campaign was to enlighten people, to tell people, to make them more aware of how encroachments and other violations in several South temples in 2019, up until 2019, and this led to the destruction of our Tamil temples.
Land sold and encroached for greed and profit.
ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಕೇಸು ನಮ್ಮ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ತೋರಿಸಿ
கவர்மெண்ட் அஃபீஷியல்ஸோ இல்லை வந்து அவங்க சைட்ல இருந்து யாராவது வந்து உங்கள்கிட்ட வந்து இது டெம்பிள் லேண்ட் அந்த மாதிரி எதுவும் கேட்டாங்களா இது வரைக்கும்
हमारे को गवर्नमेंट से भी हाई कोर्ट से ऑर्डर है 2 मरते नहीं 4 मरते ऑर्डर लाया साहब हमारा ना हाई कोर्ट कर रहा ना सुप्रीम कोर्ट विचार कर
All right. I have with me Madhav Nalapat as well. Professor Nalapat, you've also been part of many of our South-centric discussions, Tamil Nadu-centric discussions. And how has been your experience with regards to the kind of awareness people today have vis-a-vis maybe a decade ago in terms of knowing about, that's why we talk about the North-South divide. How did it begin to start off with, and has there been at this point of time greater awareness amongst people, as have been the initiative that has been taken by NewsX several number of times over the years then made a dent into how people at this point of time have their psyche, their mindset about what treasures and the historicity and the heritage that Hindu temples in the south, Tamil heritage in the south is of great importance and pride for the country. P.K. Nambia, the same question to you.
Neha, I must tell you, this is the South Indian temples were not just a place of worship. It is the place where there was an economy, a temple economy which prevailed in south of India for thousands of years. South of India, these temples were not only just an economic power or economic center, they were also the one which was producing or rather cultivated or created many art forms, whether it is in my state or Rahul Ishwar's state, where Kathakali or various cultural thoroughfare they have created these temples. My worry is not about the physical encroachment of these temples, not anymore. More than that, my worry is all about the way the people who say Sanatan Dharma needs to be eradicated, those people are the one who is today ruling, whether it is in Kerala or in Tamil Nadu, these temples. These temples comes under them. They are atheist. They do not have any kind of, they don't have any respect to the rituals and belief system of the Hinduism. But unfortunately, they have been elected by the people. So there were some boards which are created by the government are the one which is ruling these temples. So imagine a situation wherein you don't believe in the Dharma, but you are the custodian of those temples. So I think more than the physical infrastructure, if not today, tomorrow we will be able to build it up. The kind of intellectual or systematically destroying our this wealth, the inherited wealth of maybe thousands and millions of years, maybe we don't know. That is something which is more worrisome.
Yeah.
I would say that a communist have nothing to do with, a communist party member have nothing to do with the temple. For him, this is not something which they are proclaimed people who hate the God and the concept of Hinduism. And the people who says that there is the Ganesh Ji is a myth should not be ruling my my temples. I'll tell you, my family have a temple in Kerala which is more than maybe 3,000 plus years. That's what the archaeological survey says. But imagine that is where the most of the people who rules that temple is now the Devaswambod. Maybe I will be a trustee when I grow old, but without any power. So the idea is that it is not just this encroachment of non-believers becoming a part only from the point of view of making some money is what it hurts the most. I am even surprised with the fact that how the governments across the country believes that the Hindus do not have the capacity to manage their own belief system or their temples or their temple owned properties is a worrisome and
yeah, that was highlighted in our Save Indian Temples telecast. It went on for a month. A number of encroachments, violations. Again, a number of these trusts that were owned by the government has been a great question mark with regards to why is it that the government continues to control the temple trusts. Again, Professor Nalapat, now how important and crucial does it become for the world, for Indians, for our countrymen to know about our own heritage?
It's very crucial for us to know about our own heritage, because then we have some idea of our own potential and we have some idea of our roots. And I think that's very important. Why do Indian students do so well in American, Australian, Canadian, UK, or so many other universities? Because they have a sense of their own cultural identity very, very strongly. And they have a sense of pride in where they come from. And that sense of pride gives them a sense of desiring accomplishment, achievement, which they do. And that's why the Indian diaspora is among the most successful diasporas in the world. one a very tragic thing we have been seeing going on for several decades, even after 1947. And that is that many temples are looted. Many of them, for example, have fallen in, especially in some of these states where, frankly, they're not paid any attention to. The many ancient temples are being looted, and the idols have been removed, and they're auctioned. And the current government has been making every effort to try and recover these idols. And some of them have been recovered, many have not been. And this is, it's a complete, it's not just a tragedy, it's a crime, frankly. A crime not only where the penal code is concerned, a crime against our very country, against our essence as a country. And this is what has been going on. So if you're saying that you're a secular person, at the same time you say that you, irrespective of your belief system or non-belief system, should control temples, but you should not control, masjids or churches or any other, one of the holy places of other faiths. Is that secularism? Is that kind of discrimination secularism? It's definitely not. And I think the time has definitely come, and I hope it will come in the next few years, when Indian temples are liberated in the way that churches and mosques are very correctly liberated from state control. That is very, very important. And I do believe that those who talk about secularism, the fact that they did nothing about removing what the British did. It is the British who took over the temples. First they took over the temple land, then they took over the temples. And after 1947, unfortunately, neither the lands nor the control of the temples was given back to the worshippers.
Yeah.
That wrong has to be righted, and I'm certain the next 3 or 4 years it will be righted.
I absolutely agree with you. Rahul, coming back to you, it is not just about Tamil heritage. When we talk about the all-round development, whether we talk about the port infrastructure, whether we talk about the semiconductor factories, when we talk about the lithium facilities that are being coming up in the southern part of the country, in Tamil Nadu, or for that matter in Karnataka, it's of immense pride that the governance system is such that it allows for more and more direct investment, more and more of these foreign entities then wanting to set up base, even domestic players wanting to set up base in these countries. So there's something that is being done right, and that is giving the ecosystem, whether with the impetus of the government, the central government or the state governments who are I don't know if they are being able to work in tandem, but something is going right that is allowing for this ecosystem to then facilitate the growth of the country.
See, every nation builds an ecosystem, and that ecosystem really empowers their financial growth, their cultural unity, their civilizational heritage. We need such an empowering ecosystem. Like Nalapad sir rightly said, it has been nearly 211 years. Back in 1812, we lost the freedom of our temples when the British took over. So 200 years of slavery still in temples. Mahatma Gandhi got us freedom, but still Indian temples are reeling under the system the British and the Macaulay or Monroe created. So these are the negative things that we need to fight. Along with that, financial development, growth development. We South Indians are good in so many human development indexes. We need to further that. There are many aspects that we need to improve. Similarly, there should be a care and share policy. See, we are Indians at the end of the day. There are better things regarding all states to share. So we need to share with each other the good aspects of what India is. And India is rightly poised for a great growth in the next 25 years. The next quarter of century will definitely belong to India in a very big way, that we can reclaim our position in the Committee of Nations. That's the reason why the right angle of synergy. Politics will always be there, but let us keep some spaces beyond politics, and that is culture, development, these kind of synergies. We should keep it apart, and we should work together as a nation, because then only we will be able to leverage our strength as a nation, both in the financial aspect. India has a huge market because our middle class population is larger than the total population of United States. So we have this 30 to 40 crore vibrant middle class, which is growing at a very fast pace. So India is going to grow financially, culturally in a very big way, influencing the world through yoga, Ayurveda, ancient Sanskrit, Tamil, our Siddha, or our ancient, spiritual systems, meditation. So these things, India is rightly poised for a huge jump after nearly 200 to 300 years of slavery, especially by the Western powers. So it is right time for India to come back. It's high time that we create a political consensus, or what the US terminology called the bipartisan consensus regarding these things. And I hope all the politicians, beyond left or right, or beyond center right or center left, will agree to such a bipartisan consensus where something can be kept apart from the political bickering and debates.
I agree with you, and this is in a dystopian scenario. Is there a possibility of having a utopia that you talk about? PKD Nambiar, again, vested interests of political parties to latch on to power, to play divisive politics, to talk about appeasement, to talk about Dravidian politics. It has all come down to then getting the people's vote by hook or by crook, creating vote banks, and then staying in power.
Let me tell you, I don't want to mince the words. My identity is talking straight, not by philosophical. The truth is simple, that my property, my country's property, or the Hindus' property has been taken away by the governments. That needs to be given back. If they are not able to give back because of any reason, they should equally apply the same practice both for the Muslims or Christians, or for that matter to any other community. As long as we call ourselves as a secular state. But why Hindus are being treated as a second-class citizen? Why the Hindus are not capable to manage their own belief system? I think the time has come for us to say straight, give my heritage back, give my belief system and my temples back. I wanted to ask, of course, Rahul keep on talking about all Sarv Dharma, all of those things. I want to ask him, in the last 10 years, last 20 years, how many new temples have been created in the state of Kerala? Maybe few of the temples which were the old temples may have been reconstructed or added upon or something like that. That is something. How many new temples have been created in the state of Kerala? Whereas, how many Muslim mosques have been created? Maybe hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. How many Christian churches have been made? Hundreds and hundreds, and it's like more of like a competition on the either side of the highway. So there is a big loss which is making out. Today, when you get out of any airport in because the large Christian churches or the mosques on either side of the road. You come, Neha, I invite you to Kerala. You go from Trivandrum to till Kasaragod, which is the almost 600, 700 or maybe 800 kilometer stretch. On either side of the highway, you will hardly be able to see a temple. But whereas on either side of the highway, you will be able to see thousands of mosques, not hundreds, thousands. Same level, there is in a competition way, you will find the churches.
Interesting.
Now, when I say this, I will become
okay. I haven't been to Kerala, but as has been mentioned by PKD Nambiar,
I am telling you. So this has got not only just a national, it has got an international level of planning and everything. Whereas, except 3 or 4, 5 temples, we don't even hear many 3,000, 5,000 temples. We don't even know. When I went to a temple in Kannur, in my place, they said that Bhagavan Ram has visited that particular place, and it's a 3,000 plus years old temple. And years old temple. It's a massive temple. Why Rahul Ishwar has not been able to, or why PKD Nambiar has not been able to create similar kind of temples Without a JCB, you go and see the architectural marvels of south of Kerala's, Kerala's temples or the Tamil Nadu's temples.
Quickly a word from you, Rahul, before I wrap this up. Another 30 seconds.
I totally agree with this sentence. Yes, we should definitely focus on. In regard, for example, Travancore, there was about out of the 1,248 temples, hardly 100 temples are in the good situation. Nearly other 1,000 temples are not even renovated properly. Yes, we have internal problems. There are, I think it's an inter-community problem that we should focus on. We should mobilize resources. We should have satsang days like Sunday for Christians and Friday for our Muslim community. We should have such things. I totally agree with that sentiment. Our analysis is the same. We may humbly diverge on approach how to solve it, but there are some serious challenges Hindu communities are facing, especially in Kerala and down south, and it's very high time that we should honestly address it. There is no two ways about it. I totally agree with it.
Absolutely. All right, on that note, I only have as much time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast, and I assure you, my audiences, that we are going to continue with the number of these telecasts to create awareness, to talk about the South pride, to talk about the Hindu pride, to talk about the Tamil pride. And it is important that the country and the world is made aware of it. Thanks for watching.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.